Hello and welcome to Tonalist Painting with M. Francis McCarthy. This is your painter in residence, M. Francis McCarthy, and well, let's see, today I'm bringing you a little 5x7 study I did not that long ago. It's called On Golden Pond, a cliche intended for those of you that are old like me. You'll remember that famous movie with, oh my god, well, the name Jane Fonda, not Jane, Henry Fonda, and I think it was Katharine Hepburn. This was back in the late 70s or something. So don't look it up. You don't need it. But it's a nice title, and I thought, well, I'd use it. Now, this is just going to be a video of a study. There is no large corresponding painting for this, mostly because while I felt the study is actually quite successful, it's an interesting scene, but I didn't feel it would translate into a large painting very well, mostly because of the general indistinctness and sort of odd shape of the tree on the left, on our left, and it works in the study. It works okay. You don't really ask any real questions, but I knew bigger that I would be running into a lot of questions, and I was faced with either maybe compositing an entirely different tree there or doing a bunch of other things. And what's interesting is I actually painted this scene once before, probably one of the second or third paintings I ever actually did, a long time ago. And that was an exercise in sort of a monochromatic approach, almost like this isn't monochromatic. It's actually, orange and yellow, red, yellow, brown, black. Distinctly, of course, no blue in it or any real greens or anything either. So, and this sort of golden approach is something that I shared on a video. I think it was. Oh my god, I got too many paintings because titles going through my brain. Can't remember the title, but if you go back about 7 or 8 videos ago, you'll see a vertical that I did. It was sort of a golden scene like this. So I have an approach that I use for these sort of golden things, which I've been perfecting a little bit here and there over the last several years, and I've really finally figured it out. And I hate to say it, but I could probably do nothing but golden paintings all day, and people love them. I will say it's one of the reasons I decided today to share this. I really love this study. I actually have it up on a shelf in my the display area of my studio. But you can't just make nothing but gold paintings. I mean, come on. I am doing. Well, there's gold, there's red gold, there's taupe gold, there's yellow green gold, there's which is more bronze, I guess you would say. There's a lot of different approaches you could take, but they're all this sort of limited color range approach, and this is something that I've done before with nocturnes. Also, where there, of course, you're eliminating any real yellows or reds, and everything is off in the blues and the greens. And subdued grays. So it's just it's actually really fun to paint this way, and I have been getting actually more adept at setting up reference. That's the main difference. And the way the reference is set up, that feeds the painting and informs the painting, and in many ways dictates the success of the painting or not. The way the reference is set up. If I were to show you just the original picture I took of this little pond scene, you go, wow, that's got no actual color in it at all. It's just the usual subdued greens and grays of nature. Sometimes nature gets pretty intense with the greens, but anyway, I digress as always. Yesterday, you may have noticed I did not put up a 25 days of tonalism because, well, frankly, I've just been working so hard all week on getting this museum show together that I just didn't have the mental space, and there were even things I had to do yesterday to sort of get this show nailed down. And so I thought it would actually, these are all of the paintings that I gave to the museum, but I think maybe 6 or so of them didn't actually make them up on the wall. But I do intend to get the video camera out and do a sort of video walkthrough. I wish I had a dolly, and I have a bit of a problem there at the museum show in that some of the work is not as well lit as it could be, and it's no fault of theirs. I just have basically run out of lights. They have a major exhibition in the other gallery, and it's a regional gallery. I mean, it's actually very nice, very classy place, and the show has been hung very professionally and looks really, really good. But it's one of these cases where the photographically, for sure, some of the paintings just seem very dark against the wall, and whereas where you're looking at it visually as a human being, you're able to make that adjustment and actually perceive the paintings pretty well. But whatever, we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. Now there is also I put together a lot of things for this museum show. I put together a little brochure. At some point I'm gonna, I don't know, try and get my head around a PDF of that, but we'll see how that goes. Anyway, it's been a lot of work, and it's pretty much done now, and it's been good. So anyway, that's why yesterday I just kind of put a slideshow up that I'd sort of been fiddling with last week, and hopefully some of you are enjoying that. If not, this will be there for you today, and you can just ignore it, like we have to do in this modern age where we're faced with a multitude of options to distract us and take our attention. So, and I know that, and I appreciate that, and that's why I appreciate the viewership that I've got. And you could be looking at something else. So I'm always trying to provide some valuable content, whether this slideshow qualifies or not. And if you don't like the music, just mute it. What can I say? Every now and again. I mean, all of these videos have my music on them, but most of them don't have my vocal music on them, because that, of course, competes with me talking. That's not such a good plan. But so I saw yesterday as well, there's an opportunity to put up a few vocal tracks, and I could see the levels were a little out of whack on one of them, and also, as far as color fidelity, it's looking really saturated and sort of dark on my Samsung tablet, but this is a sort of a way that tablet's display works. And let me tell you, that's a kettle of fish you don't want to get into. I could tell you as a former graphics professional that you send someone a comp and they keep telling you the color's all wrong, but it's really just because their monitor is showing them the colors a certain way. And what are they true colors in the digital realm? No one can say. As a matter of fact, even in the physical world, I mean, you can have light that's tinted yellow, you could have light that's tinted blue or red or green, and this will certainly affect the way that your artwork is perceived. Not to mention, like I say, if you get a good bright light on something, like I'm painting under, you see all the colors very clearly, but when it doesn't have sufficient light, you're not going to see quite as much color. It's just the way things are. So as far as what's happened in the studio last week, not a whole lot. Like I say, most of my time's been either delivering art, doing graphics, chasing around graphics, correcting incorrect graphics, dealing with various people, in all sorts of different ways. And I can't complain, because I've been working towards that show for about a year now. So it's awesome, and I'm really quite happy with the way it turned out, and it's just really exciting to have all my work. And it's actually a large room, or 2 large rooms. It looks really good. So not much to report in the studio. I did finish up a few 5x7 studies. I did some board prep for some larger paintings. Actually, I did 2 larger paintings at the end of the week, so I shouldn't say I did nothing. I did Well, the one thing I did was a sort of a yellow keyed scene, so it's all in the more in the yellow bronze than the yellow red, and I'm pretty happy with that. And then yesterday in the studio, I did a scene that was sort of a bluish morning scene. So one of the things I'm trying to do with my work is to sort of key things into a strong, sort of inhabit a portion of the color wheel instead of every aspect of the color wheel. And I've recently been working with some new programs on my computer that sort of help me set up the reference for that sort of direction. And I don't mind telling you about one of them. It's called 3D LUT Creator. It's 3D LUT Creator, all one word. Type that into Google and check out what that program can do, and you'll be pretty impressed. Unfortunately, it's not a reasonable program at all. It's a professional grade program. You can use this to do actual Hollywood style movies and of course any sort of photography. It's really incredible and thought worth a mention here in the video. Anyway, considering getting close to the end, if you enjoyed this video, would you please do me the favor of subscribing and that way you'll know when I put up another one and you can check it out. And if you didn't enjoy it, well, there's other stuff out there, right? So that's okay too. You can go to my website, landscapepainter.co.nz, and check out my work there or follow my blog there. On the blog today, there will be a better resolution image of this particular painting for you to check out, as well as some zoom-ins to show you the detail of the brushwork. So go check that out too. And I will be back next week with another video, and the 25 days we'll be getting right back into that volume 2. So meanwhile, take good care and stay out of